I built the ultimate personal voice assistant that saves me 5 hours per week with just NAN and VAPI, no code. So in this video, we're building the exact agent I just showed you. It can book meetings, send emails, retrieve contact information, perform research, create reports, and set reminders for later. I barely managed to tell you all of its capabilities in just one sentence, which shows that this isn't some fake template other people are showing you and telling you that you can sell them for $10,000. And also, if you're new to the channel, what's up? My name is Azim. I'm the founder of Inspera AI. Inspera is our voice agency that helps businesses discover their growth and potential with voice agents. And as someone who knows the pain of business owners that are looking on YouTube for advice about AI automation, I know how downloading a bunch of templates that don't even work can feel. So if you're a business owner and you're looking to take the next step with voice agents, feel free to book a free 15-minute intro chat using the calendar link I've provided in the description. This month, we are only taking on 2 businesses, so spots are quite limited. If this sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and take your spot before somebody else does. And now, let's dive into the full build of this system that helps knowledge workers regain 25% or more of their working time each week. And the best part, you can access all of my workflows for completely free using the resource link in the description. But more on that when we get to the actual building. And if what I just said sounds too good to be true, check out this conversation I had with the agent. And so here I have my assistant open inside of VAPI. I also have my 6 workflows inside of NAN, with this being the master workflow, which right now is going to help me schedule a lunch meeting, as well as send an email to the recipient notifying them of that meeting.
Hi Azim, this is Jamal. What do you need help with?
Hey Jamal, so I just wanted to schedule a quick lunch meeting with Azim from 3 to 4 p.m. today, and then also send him an email notifying him of that.
Got it. I'll first look up Azim's contact information, then I'll schedule a lunch meeting today from 3 to 4 p.m., and I'll follow up with an email to let him know. One quick thing, do you want me to include any specific details or a location in the calendar, invite, and email, or just mention lunch meeting?
Let's just mention the lunch meeting.
This will just take a sec. The lunch meeting with Azim is scheduled today from 3 to 4 p.m., and he's been notified by email. If you'd like to add a location or more details, just let me know. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No thanks, I'm good. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Now that the call has ended, let's check out my Google Calendar as well as my Gmail to see if the meeting has been scheduled and the email has been sent. Looking at my Google Calendar here, a lunch meeting has been scheduled from 3 to 4 p.m. Yep, my other email has been added to this meeting, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. It's been scheduled from 3 to 4 p.m. and as requested, there were no other details provided because I wanted to keep it simple. Now looking at my Gmail, Azim has been sent a reminder that there's a lunch meeting scheduled from 3 to 4 p.m. today. And overall, it's just a really simple email and notification that lunch has been scheduled. But this goes a really far way because it ensures 100% communication and does this automatically. And that was the demo of our ultimate personal assistant. I hope now you're convinced of the potential that this voice agent has, especially when we look in a little deeper, because knowledge workers spend 25% or more of their work week just answering emails and performing other repetitive tasks. With small businesses losing up to 120 days a year on such tasks, it's no wonder that an AI agent like this could really benefit them. If you're one of those businesses that's looking to explore the potential of voice agents in 2025, I've just opened up some more slots for consultation calls by hitting the link in the description and scheduling a free consultation. You're signing yourself up for guaranteed value that I will provide, regardless of whether voice agents are a good fit for your business or not. So if this sounds like a you thing, go ahead and schedule your call with me. I'll see you there. And now, let's get to the building of this agent. Because this is a template that works in the real world, I'm not going to make this setup complicated to compensate for the usual lack of capabilities in templates that other people give you, so let's get this going. The first thing you're going to do is go ahead to vapi.ai and sign into your account or create a new one. And once you're inside, you're going to go ahead and create an assistant here in the top left corner, and you're going to name it whatever. I just named my UPA as the ultimate personal assistant. Next, what you're going to do is go ahead into the description and click on the Gumroad resource link I've provided for you. in order to access the full prompt that I have written out here. What you're going to do is simply copy paste that prompt and put it inside of the system prompt section. What you can also do while you're inside of Vappy is set this model to GPT 4.1. Since our system is quite heavy because it has access to a lot of tools, we need to use a stronger model like this one. The next thing we're going to do while we're inside of Vappy is set up something called tools. Now, there are two ways to go about this tool setup, and I'm going to provide you instructions on how to do both. With our setup for this agent, we can either use a more complex system that involves 6 tools, although we could technically use one tool called something like Assistant Action, which could give our assistant more freedom in performing its tasks, but also make it slightly more likely to perform mistakes. In either scenario, this personal assistant should work just fine, but for the sake of teaching you, I'm just going to follow the 6 tool setup that we have here. Setting those tools up can seem a bit difficult, but it's actually quite easy, and you're going to be able to do it yourself in just around 5 minutes. Once again, using the Gumroad resource package I have provided for you in the description, you're going to go ahead and find a page called Tool Setup. Using that Tool Setup page, which has all of the instructions you need, you're just going to set up all 6 of your tools and connect them to your agent. For people who are more familiar with NAN and AI builds, I would also encourage you to try out the other method, which involves only one tool. Directions for that will also be in my resource package. Anyway, after you have those tools set up, you're going to go ahead into NAN. Just sign in or sign up to NAN and create 6 new workflows. Once again, going into my resource package, you'll find 6 files that end in a .json. You're going to take those .json files and you're going to upload one in each of your workflows. As you've probably realized, we basically have a workflow for every tool that we have inside of Vappy. What is left to do with our workflows is to just set up some basic modules and make sure they can receive information from the calls from Vappy. Your first step in NAN would be to go ahead to the Master Coordinator Assistant and add each of your sub-workflows as tools by clicking this plus button. From here, what you would do is click on Call NAN Workflow Tool, and what you would simply do is go ahead into here and connect each and every one of your workflows. You would have to do this 5 times since we have 5 sub-workflows, so just get that set up. The next thing we would do is get a chat model to power this. A chat model is like your average ChatGPT 4o, Claude Sonnet, or something else. There are several providers to use for these chat models, and that includes Microsoft Azure. The reason I love using Microsoft Azure is because it offers you $1,000 or more in free credits, and all you have to do is sign up with a personal account. If you've watched any of my past videos, which you should definitely check them out, I've consistently used Microsoft Azure because I don't have to pay for any of the credits. If you already have credits bought in another platform, or you don't want to set up Azure, there are many other chat models to use from the list, such as OpenAI and OpenRouter, which are 2 popular ones. If you've never set up any of these 3 providers before, check out the resource package. I'll provide instructions on how to set it up, as well as links you can access to get them set up. For this AI agent in NAN, I would recommend using a chat model like GPT 4.1 or something from another provider that is equal to or more powerful, because even with the prompt that I wrote, it's best to have a better model running this. The next circular module you'll notice over here is called Tavily. Now, Tavily is essentially a web search service that allows you to retrieve information. For our ultimate personal assistant, we're going to be using it to retrieve things such as news and other small information. The way you're going to get Tavily set up is by going to the Tavily website and signing up for an account. After you're inside of Tavily, you're going to go ahead and add your API key if you haven't been given one, and you're simply going to copy it. When you're back in NAN, you're going to go inside the Tavily module, and you're going to add a couple of pieces of information. Much of this should already be set up for you. Your first step here would be go ahead to this authorization and bearer section, and what you're going to do is replace this API key, which is mine, with yours. Make sure you have a space between bearer and your API key, otherwise it will not work. I actually lied when I said there would be a couple of steps. That was the only step. Once you have set up your chat model as well as Tavily and your sub workflows, you're going to go ahead into this webhook node. You're going to click inside of it and you're going to copy this link over here. What you would then do is go back inside of your assistant in Vappy, go ahead to the advanced section, scroll down to the messaging category, and paste in your link inside of here. This is exactly what is going to allow our call information to go ahead to that workflow and allow the AI agent to book meetings, send emails, and much more. Below this server URL, you're going to scroll down to the client messages and the server messages. For the client messages, you're going to uncheck everything except transcript and tool calls. And for the server messages, you're going to uncheck everything except the end of call report, the tool calls, as well as the final transcript. For the end call message, you can customize it however you want. Another thing you would also do is go back to your tools, and for each of the tools that you have set up, Whether you have followed the 6 tool method or the single tool method, you're going to scroll down to the server settings section and paste in your server URL inside. You're going to do this for each and every one of your tools, making sure none of them are missed. From here, the bulk of our agent has already been set up. Another thing you'll notice inside of our N8N workflow is a red, yellow, and blue box over here. This is our Airtable node, which will allow us to take information from end of call reports and record that for later. Since this is a personal assistant and you really wouldn't care about looking at its performance on calls, since you and possibly your team are the only ones calling it, you can actually go ahead and delete this node. But if you're interested in it, you can just keep it there. What I've actually went ahead and done for you is taken all 4 of my spreadsheets and put them into a single base or kind of a project. And I'm going to provide a link to it in the resources package. Once you've clicked this link, you're going to hit this tiny arrow in the top left corner. You're going to click those 3 dots and you're going to duplicate this base for your own account. Once you have the base duplicated to your account, you're just going to go to the Airtable homepage and you're going to click in the top right corner over here. You're going to go to the top right corner and click on your profile picture. You would click on Builder Hub, and what this place is intended to do is to allow you to create a new token for accessing your spreadsheets. So I've clicked on Create New Token. I'm going to name my token. You can name it something like Access to Everything, and what we're going to do is add the following scopes: Data Records Read, Data Records Write, Schema Bases Read, and Schema Bases Write. As for access, you can just click Add All Resources. Then you would create your new token, make sure to copy it and then store it somewhere because you won't be able to see it again if you lose it. Once you have that access token copied, you're going to go back to N8N. You're going to click on this Create a Record module and then click on this box called Credential to Connect with. Now, I'm setting this credential up because I'm going to use the end of call report feature, but we're actually going to be using Airtable inside of our N8N workflows, so you're going to need to set it up for the other workflows anyway. Once you're on this screen, you're going to copy paste your access token inside, name your access token something like Access to Everything, and then click Save. I already have my token set up, so there's nothing I need to do. Just make sure to set up these things. What you will need to do is click Personal Assistant Records to be your base, and click the end of call report table to be recorded inside of here. After this last step, we've already set up the main workflow for our assistant. Moving on, we're going to tackle the other workflows step by step, but they're much smaller, so it isn't going to take us long. The first workflow I'm setting up is the contact agent. What you will need to do for this is quite simple. Since you already have your chat model set up from the last workflow, you're going to connect it again. These tools and most of their setup should already be inside, but what you're going to do is select the correct credential that you have, and for the base and table, set it up for the contacts table. And you're going to do it for the other Airtable module as well, which should be straightforward. Next, we have our notes and reminders agent. For this, you're going to set up your chat model again. You're also going to set up your Airtable again, and this time the table will be the notes table, which is where we will jot down notes from our calls. The next thing you'll notice is our Set Reminder Google Calendar tool. What this will simply do is create an event inside of our calendar that we can then be notified of. This is really helpful because normally you would have to write these notes down yourself or use your calendar to create the reminder yourself. So you're going to click inside of this node, and for the credential to connect with, you're just going to select Create New Credential. The way you create this new credential is quite simply just signing in with the Google account that you want to use for the reminder. The only step you have to do after that is to just connect the right calendar you want to use from this drop-down menu. Make sure to hit save for all of your workflows because you don't want your progress to be lost. Next, we're moving on to our calendars. It may seem intimidating at first because it looks like a spider, but what you're going to do for all of these nodes is just connect your credential, which you already did in the last step with your Google account, and then pick your calendar. You're going to do this for all 5 of those legs, and then you should be set up. For the email agent, we're following a very similar process. What we're doing, we're just signing in with our Gmail account, and what you're going to do is repeat this process for all of those 4 nodes. Make sure the correct account is connected, and that's it. Next, we have the Research/Report Assistant. This is once again quite a simple process. We have another AI agent over here, and it uses an Airtable as a tool. The Airtable tool setup is quite similar to a regular Airtable, and what you're going to do is go inside of here and choose the table Research and Reports. For this message model node, we're going to use a service called Perplexity. What Perplexity does is it allows us to perform research and pretty much find an answer to any question that we might have. Now, in order to perform searches using Perplexity, Perplexity's API is a paid feature, but even $5 worth of credits will allow you to perform many searches. If you don't want to use Perplexity and pay for the credits, I have attached a separate file of the Research/Report Assistant that actually uses Tavily for our deep research too. So if you don't want to use Perplexity, you don't have to. And over here is actually exactly what the setup with Tavily would look like. What you would do is take this section and just put it in the place of all of this. The setup is exactly the same for Tavily. You would just have to click inside of the node and set up your API key as we did before. Once again, I am going to attach that workflow inside of my resources package, so you're going to be able to access it. If you have any questions though, make sure to comment them down below and I'll answer every single one. So once you've tackled the issue with your research/report assistant, you're done with setting the system up. Right now, I'm going to run a longer demo so that you can get a feel.
Hi, Azim. This is Jamal. What do you need help with?
Hey Jamal, so I wanted to do some research and create a report.
Absolutely. What topic would you like the research and report to focus on? And is there anyone specific you want the report sent to, or should I just prepare it for your own use?
This report is just for me, and it's going to be about Voice AI agent implementation in small businesses.
Great. I'll create a report for you on Voice AI agent implementation in small businesses. Please hold on a moment while I put that together. Give me a moment. Your report on Voice AI agent implementation in small businesses is ready. If you want a summary or need help with another topic, just let me know.
Thanks, Jamal. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome, Azim. I'm always here if you need anything else. Have a great day.
So we just finished talking to Jamal. He told me that he did the research and completed the report, but now let's actually see for ourselves by looking at the Airtable. And now looking at the Airtable, I see that a report has been created. It's about Voice AI agent implementation and it has been published inside of here. It even styled it in Markdown, which is exactly what we would need. It has also captured the date of my report, July 13th, Sunday at 3:43 p.m. And that's accurate because right now it's 3:46 p.m. and the status has been marked as completed. So that's perfect. Many people don't even know that you can use AI for complex research. But what this Ultimate Personal Assistant build does is it allows them even greater flexibility. If you just speak a sentence about what you want, it's going to give you a full outline packed with a lot of information that you would normally take hours to search on the internet and then put it into a report. And even though the fact that it can do research is already impressive, let's finish this off by asking it to set me a sleep reminder for today at 9 p.m.
Hi, Azim. This is Jamal. What do you need help with?
Hey Jamal, so I just wanted to set a reminder at 9 p.m. today, a sleep reminder.
Just a sec. Your sleep reminder is set for 9 p.m. today. Would you like any other reminders or help with something else?
No thanks, I appreciate you, Jamal.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you too. If you ever need anything, just let me know. Have a restful night.
Perfect. So in just 5 seconds, I managed to set a sleep reminder. This is absolutely powerful. Because if people spend 25% of their work week focusing on things such as emails and bookings, they can often forget about the many things that they actually have scheduled. And this is really helpful because if knowledge workers use 25% of their work week on things like sending emails and booking meetings, it's just really powerful to have an automated reminder system set up for you. Personally, I'm actually using this reminder system to help me sleep, so that's pretty cool. And looking at my Google Calendar here, my sleep reminder has been scheduled for 9 p.m. Perfect. And this kind of functions as a true reminder system. It has been properly set at 9 p.m. here, so that's really cool. And that pretty much sums up our demo of the system. We went over how it retrieved from its contacts database, managed to schedule a lunch meeting from 3 to 4 p.m. and email me about it, create me a full report about Voice AI implementation in small businesses, as well as even set a reminder for me. Next, let's just examine the benefits of having a personal assistant like this. What many studies have showed is the potential for AI personal assistants to save a lot of time and revenue for businesses. Taking a look at this outline here that was created and sent to me through my email by the personal assistant itself. Not only does AI save employees an average of 1 hour per day, AI tools save people 1 hour per day, and those are tools that you still have to use yourself, unlike a personal assistant, which essentially does everything for you. And on top of that, 71% of meetings are completely non-productive. And this is obvious because employees lose 31 hours per month to their unproductive meetings. And based on this calculation, American businesses lose $400 billion each year because of inefficiencies that our ultimate assistant could fix. And this personal assistant really just shows it. It even told me the sources for the 4 points that I found above down here, so that I know this is legitimate information. And the bottom line is that even simple builds, such as the Ultimate Personal Assistant that I have included here, can save businesses a lot of time and money. Another statistic I just checked out is that small businesses with 100 or more employees lose $420,000 each year just because of meeting inefficiencies and more. And so if you're one of those businesses losing time to meetings, calendar bookings, emails, or if you're looking for a phone caller that can do things such as book appointments, capture your leads, or fulfill your customer support, now is the time to do so. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave some video ideas down below in the comments for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.